Before the intro plays, this is what the game looks like. If this looks interesting, I go more in depth on it later in the video, so keep watching. I love Undertale. Ever since I played Undertale in like 2016, I think, I've been absolutely obsessed with its bullet hell combat system. I've always been iffy about turn-based RPG combat because I don't like the RNG elements. When I played Undertale, it just kind of fixed it. The way there's little mini games to dodge attacks, it's just mwah. I always, ever since I finished playing Undertale, wanted to see a more traditional RPG game with its combat system. I wanted way more challenging fights and more traditional RPG elements like leveling and stats going up and actually being able to kill the monsters without the game being designed around not doing that. I made a lot of prototypes of this sort of idea over the past few years. Just gonna like pull them up and talk about them. This is Undertale 3. I made it a platformer. I don't know why I made it a platformer. I think that's what I knew how to do. And I was like, well, surely this is a good idea. And I don't think it was. Oh, yeah, and there's random... Okay, this isn't even like that bad, really. It's just old, and it shouldn't be a platformer. This part's evil. I don't know why I thought this was fun. So I'm like an amazing writer. But that's pretty much it. It's too simple. I don't like the combat. You have two options and it's just kind of lame. And then this masterpiece, it's a roguelike. It's like a dungeon crawler. I like the little guy and he wobbles back and forth. And then there's like a goblin chasing you. And then this starts the combat. You have stamina, you start with 2. You have an attack, a spell, and a defense. Defense gives you shield, which makes you take less damage. Spell, I never implemented. I don't actually know what I wanted this to be. And then attack just attacks. And then you have to dodge his big foot. That's it, literally. That was as far as I got with this one. So after trying and failing and fully developing my own game, it's called Eggison, by the way, and you can play it on Steam. It's on Steam. You can get it on Steam. It's on Steam. It's awesome. Footage on screen. It's called Eggison. It's on Steam. I think I'm competent enough at this point to make the game I've wanted to make for a very, very long time. So I'm making a roguelike. It's Deltarune X Slay the Spire, pretty much. It's not a deck builder. I don't like deck builders. I don't like randomly getting cards and discarding them and waiting to get the shit that you want. It's a little different. You have 6 attack slots, and then throughout the game you find different attacks in chests, and you can just equip them and use them whenever. I love the Slay the Spire stamina system and how you can just throw a bunch of attacks out into a combo depending on how much stamina you have and what attacks you have. So I'm using that. But instead of a deck builder, you have a set amount of attacks. Some of them go on cooldown because there's a lot of really strong ones that you shouldn't be able to use multiple times in a row or shouldn't be able to use 2 turns in a row. You gain 2 stamina every single turn. Some characters gain more, some characters gain less. Whenever you graze attacks, like in Deltarune, instead of gaining TP, you gain extra stamina. So the more you graze, the riskier you play and dodge enemy attacks, the more attacks you can put out in your next turn. The game also has stats. Every entity, which is either a character or an enemy, has 3 stats: attack, magic, and defense. Most everything in the entire game will scale off of these stats. Every time you level up, you have XP. Once you level up, you're able to put a point into any of those 3 stats, as well as your health. I have trinkets in the game. I'm gonna make a video entirely about trinkets and a bunch of different trinkets and my design philosophy around all of them. They're pretty much just passive items that you have that can get procced off of random things. Some of them are just stat sticks. Some of them are just insane. Like I have an item called Clown Head that multiplies every instance of damage you deal by a random amount. So you can do 1.5x damage, but you can also do 0.5x. So it's just a coin flip. But I want to capture that feeling of reading an item description out and like soy facing at the monitor because of how strong it is. But I do want to keep that feeling going the rest of the run by not having one item not be super fucking broken, that it just alone makes you unkillable. So it's going to be a bit hard. So this is the combat. It's clearly like pretty in development. It's still very early. I've been working on this game for about a year and a half. I've just only now started to make devlog. These are the attacks. This character, Scarlet, starts with 2 attacks, Slash and Steroids. Slash is just a very basic damage dealing attack. Steroids is a buff to yourself. And then I have 2 trinkets. This is a stat stick item. It just gives you 3 attack. Clown Head, I showed earlier, multiplies every instance of damage between 0.5 and 1.5. This is the stamina. This is the health. These are your stats, your passive. If you hold Alt, you can see all of these scaling details this attack does and her passive does. It plays a noise and it gets sad if it rolls bad, and then it gets happy if it rolls right. This is dodging, grazing, get stamina. There's a bunch of different enemies in the game already. I'm gonna go over bunch of those in a future video. I just kind of want to set the foundation for what this game is and what I want it to be. Yeah, that's the combat. The release plan for this game fully depends on the eyes that are on it. This game, it has a pretty big scope, and I have a few projects that are much smaller scope that I can much more feasibly finish in a reasonable amount of time. So I want to get this out there as soon as I can, just to see if there's any interest for it. If this game has people's eyes on it, I will lock the fuck in, and this will just be my thing. But if not, I'm gonna work on other smaller projects and just try to build myself up. I hope that makes sense. I'm also on Patreon. I'm gonna put it on screen and link it in the description. You can support me on there. It really helps. There's 3 tiers. The first really cheap tier, you just get more videos. The second tier, you get access to any game I'm working on, early build. Pretty much anything I'm gonna make devlogs on, I'm going to have builds up on the Patreon, including the roguelike that this video is about. The build on the Patreon will be much older and look very different, but it's the same game, and you can play it right now if you go subscribe to the Patreon. There's also a more expensive tier that is just solely for supporting me, but you do get your name really high up in the credits, and it'll be all gold and highlighted because I love you. If you want to support the Patreon, please do. It means a lot. It lets me work on the game more. So thank you for watching. Thank you for making it to the end. Bye.